This is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley. Governor Andy Beshear announced about an hour ago 295 new cases and 8 new deaths from COVID-19. That brings the totals in the state to 10,705 cases and 458 deaths. So far, 3,303 Kentuckians have recovered from the virus and 262,714 tests have now been administered. The governor also said Kentucky reached an agreement with NASCAR to hold races at Kentucky Speedway July 8th through the 12th without fans. He says more information about that will be released during his next live briefing on Monday. He will not be holding one tomorrow. For more on COVID-19 in the state, you can head over to our website, WYMT.com. Well, after 3 months as a virtual ghost town, the Las Vegas Strip reopened for business today. It's the latest big reopening amid the coronavirus pandemic. CBS's Danya Backus has more from Thousand Oaks, California.
The majestic fountains at Las Vegas's Bellagio Casino came to life again for the first time in months, signaling America's gaming capital is back in business.
It's like the best feeling in the world, like back alive again, you know, it's great.
Casino crews welcomed visitors as the Bellagio's doors opened this morning.
It's good to be an American again and be open.
Crowds filled Fremont Street as some casinos resumed business at midnight.
Happy to be here, happy that you guys are opening up.
Visitors will notice major changes.
You'll see a lot of social distancing. Tables will be 6 feet apart. Menus will be paper menus or will be sanitized between each and every use.
Gamblers will see cleaning crews on casino floors 24/7. Sanitizing machines, dice, and common areas. Some gaming tables have plexiglass to separate gamblers. And everyone will have their temperature taken and be encouraged to wear a mask before entering.
We got to take care of our tourists. We got to make sure that the people who come here are not going to get sick so they never come back again.
And another sign things are returning to normal. Here in California, restaurants have been reopening over the last few weeks, with some cities and counties allowing indoor dining. And starting today, people in much of New York State can dine at outdoor restaurants, but not in New York City.
Outdoor dining, there's no roof, there could be a canopy, but it is outdoor space.
So far, coronavirus has infected more than 1.8 million Americans. 107,000 have died. Now there's concern cases will spike across the country as thousands pour into the streets to protest the death of George Floyd.
I am seriously worried about what's going to happen, 10 days from now when we start to see those cases rise dramatically.
Dr. Agus says the more droplets go into the air, the more potential for spread. Danya Backus, CBS News, Thousand Oaks, California.
Well, we saw a mixture of sun and clouds once again today. However, we've added a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region. Most of us kind of staying on the dry side. Others have been a little bit on the soggy side this afternoon. We'll go ahead and take you up to a few of those cameras as we look along US 119, US 23 into Jenkins. Plenty of sunshine over there. They've remained on the dry side so far this afternoon. Looking into Whitesburg, seeing a few more clouds over there, but still seeing plenty of sunshine. 84 degrees, but that dew point of 65, making it feel closer to about those mid to upper 80s. So a lot of us into about those mid to upper 80s. Jackson, Hazard, a little bit into Prestonsburg as we have been on the dry side today, but for areas down into London, Williamsburg, over to Somerset, you guys have dealt with a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms, so it's cooled you off a little bit, but I know it still feels muggy down there, so it doesn't feel that much cooler. We're seeing dew points anywhere from about the upper 60s to lower 70s, so that's that uncomfortable to oppressive stage. We've definitely seen that heat and humidity return, feeling a lot like summer out there this afternoon. But you see a lot of those scattered showers and storms starting to dissipate a little bit, but Moorhead getting hit with a lot of rain. We'll have to keep an eye on parts of Rowan County as they've been dealing with that rain for a little bit. And you guys know it could sit over an area and sometimes produce a little bit of some localized flooding. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that heading in to the rest of the evening hours. But it looks like starting to dry out a little bit, some heavier downpours in parts of Clay County right now. Temperatures look to drop into about the mid to upper 60s tonight. Scattered chances continue tonight and into your Friday. I'll look at your Friday and weekend forecast coming up in a little bit.
All right, Paige, thank you. As school officials begin to plan for the upcoming school year, guidelines from the CDC and Kentucky Board of Education make putting a set plan in place a little difficult. One superintendent decided to make a parent survey to help with that decision-making process. WYMT's Lacey Roberts spoke with him and has more.
It is here in this building,
Floyd County Schools,
where the decision on how the upcoming school year will look is decided.
This is a big undertaking when you're making decisions that will affect even how folks can care for their children at home.
New guidelines on in-person classes has taken its toll.
We know that some parents are not going to feel comfortable sending their students back to school.
Superintendent of Floyd County Schools, Danny Atkins, says while parents are faced to make decisions they do not want to, the district is here to help.
We can provide you a device and the curriculum. You don't need to go to homeschool. So every student will get a device to work from home if they choose to do online learning.
Wanting to include everyone, Atkins is releasing a survey for parents and staff.
Would you prefer your student to come to in-person class? Would you prefer your student to have online learning? Or would you prefer a hybrid model where they could do a little of both?
Ensuring a proper education.
Where teachers video themselves teaching and they can load it to the computer and the kids can access that at home without Wi-Fi.
Helping to make the education process easier.
And what we want is uniformity in our district. And if everybody's uniform, there can't be a lot of complaints that they got a better education.
No matter where they live. In Floyd County, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News.
Adkins says once results from the survey are calculated, he expects to have a decision by the beginning of August. While states return to a new normal and slowly reopen, one industry that is still suffering losses is agriculture. For cattle farmers, spring is typically the seasonal high for selling yearling cattle. A farmer in Fayette County says this year many prices have decreased by $8 to $10 per 100 pounds due to lower future index values. Even with the demand for food such as beef remaining high, many farmers are unsure what the future holds.
It has to be a sustainable market from conception to the plate. And that's what we've got to get back. We've got to get every sector of our industry back into a sustainable market.
White says he's thankful that the Commissioner of Agriculture and other state organizations have been putting together programs to help local farmers during this pandemic. Under the governor's guidelines, movie theaters could reopen on Monday. WYMT's Madison Program talks to theater owners to find out how business has been going this week.
We're just ready to entertain people.
The doors at the locally owned Tri-County Cineplex have been open for 15 years.
Never have we closed our doors for any length of time for weather and for family emergencies, maybe a day.
Susie and Greg Rasmus, two of the co-owners, say aside from entertaining people, they have always prided themselves on one thing.
We were always known to be a really clean theater. We take pride in that, but we have taken it, to the next level for sure.
Since reopening, several new procedures in place, from plexiglass shields, line markers, bathroom reminders, hand sanitizer stations, to even how they sell their candy.
And so we have it displayed up here where you can still see it. You can see the size of the candies. You can see everything. It's working out great. It's all behind the counter now.
When you walk in to watch a movie, you will also notice some changes.
We blocked off every other row, and then we sell in groups of 2. That are available. So if you're a family of 4, you can buy 2 here, and then scoot close together.
With different movies on the big screen, it is all about the experience.
I mean, we got Grease right now on the big screen. We've got Wizard of Oz. That's been really popular. Goonies, fun stuff, So people are wanting to kind of escape into the past, I think. So the classic movies are working out just great for us.
A place to escape, to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. In Corbin, Madison Program, WYMT Mountain News.
Right now they are providing a $5 ticket option, but they do want people to know that movie times are different to allow thorough cleaning and to prevent a packed lobby. The Lexington Police Department is making changes to a controversial policy at the center of Breonna Taylor's death in Louisville. A no-knock warrant was being conducted the night Louisville officers shot and killed her. Now Lexington Police Chief Lawrence Weathers says a layer of approval is being added to their policy.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can argue that it does happen disproportionately, and that's something that needs to change.
That policy also states that once they're inside, uniformed officers must continually announce that they are police. Louisville police have said they identified themselves, but Taylor's neighbors said they never heard anything like that the night she was killed. A memorial service was held in Minneapolis this afternoon for George Floyd. The service follows a night of mostly peaceful protests around the country after new charges were brought against the former police officers connected to his death. CBS's Skylar Henry reports from Minneapolis.
Amazing grace. Minneapolis took its first step towards healing as family, friends, and civil rights leaders paid tribute to George Floyd. The Reverend Al Sharpton eulogized Floyd, whose life was tragically cut short last week at the hands of police. Family members shared touching memories about the father of two.
All these people came to see my brother, and that's amazing to me that he touched so many people's hearts.
When he would wrap his arms around you, you would just feel like, you were, everything could just go away.
Family attorney Ben Crump hopes Floyd's death can lead to change.
That pandemic of racism and discrimination that killed George Floyd.
The service here at North Central University in downtown Minneapolis is just the first of several services honoring George Floyd's life and legacy.
Floyd's death has touched off massive demonstrations nationwide and around the world, and has been a rallying cry for police reform from coast to coast.
If nothing changes after this protest, if it just dies down and quiets down, another man is going to be killed just the same way.
As mourners gathered at the site where he died, 3 of the 4 officers charged in connection with Floyd's death appeared in court for the first time. Floyd's family says the officers' arrests are only the first step towards justice, and that they will continue to call for their convictions. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Minneapolis.
Floyd's body will be flown to North Carolina, where he was born, for a public viewing and a private family service Saturday. There will be a large service Tuesday in Houston, where he grew up. North Central University has now established a scholarship in Floyd's honor. We'll be right back.